So this device totally changed my life a couple years ago. I was a kid, always picked last for things, for baseball, for sports. I sat in the back of the classroom all the time. Every sport, I was always dead last, a kid. I shut my mouth in school, went to school for video production, was always behind the scenes. And then in 2015, I started doing video. And all of a sudden now, with a 360 I did, turned around and started doing video and in front of the camera versus being behind. Now I can't get enough of it. So, and we're going to walk you guys through what we have done, how we built a pretty good audience, and some really good social media tips that we've done, and also show you the equipment we have, and we'll go through our agenda here and rock and roll. So this is Robin, I'm Joe. We've been in the mortgage business for, gosh, a number of years now, at least 8 or 9. I have a coaching business as well. I do a lot of podcasting. I've had celebrities on because of my social media exposure, and one of the people that has agreed to be on my podcast is presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. So they've agreed in principle. We're just trying to iron the details out. But just from blowing up on social media, I've attracted that kind of audience, and Robin has really been growing her business pretty well over the last, I guess, 6-8 months.
Yep.
You've been with us.
Yeah.
So it's been really good.
He's definitely been helping me along the way with that.
And she's really good in front of the camera
He's
too.
so
So, yeah,
amazing.
so got a lot of good pointers. We'll talk about the importance of posting on social, why you guys don't post, because there's a lot of behavioral things going on, what's changed on social media and why it's important, how to find leads. We find a lot of leads. What are the hottest trends right now going into 2024? Using ChatGPT and AI. We'll talk about some of the equipment we have. We've got some really good tips, how to become an influencer and what the future looks like. And we'll dive right in, and hopefully we'll have some time. So that's Robin and I. That's our crazy pictures. So this is right now my social media following as of yesterday. So I have about 57,679 connections. So if you guys try to Facebook friend me, I have to delete some people. That's a process I hate going through, but every week I gotta eliminate people who I don't really be in contact to add new friends. And you can see across all the platforms, these are some of the major platforms, even Snapchat, I've got 2,100 people following me. I just reached 2,500 subscribers on YouTube channels. LinkedIn, I'm blowing up. Twitter, X as it is now. Clubhouse, not really a huge app, but all in all, about 57,000 some odd followers. So I could really put a lot of posts out there and completely blow up. And these are just some posts that I've done in our industry. And Rob is going to be starting to do some of these. So like a winter storm post where I had a picture of myself outside. I spent $25 and reached 21,000 people locally in our area. These are actual lead campaigns I did, Florida, South Carolina, and Pennsylvania. And here's a perfect example, Pennsylvania, first-time home buyers last year, at the beginning of the year. I spent $937 and got 478 people actually clicking on the post, giving me their information so we could drip on them. And I got about 5 loans out of it. And I still keep in touch with a lot of people. I think I have about 15 pre-approvals. It worked really well, and then Facebook changed a lot of the stuff in the algorithm and some of the special ad category that we're in because we're in the financial and mortgage piece. So it changed it quite a bit. So now we have to regroup and do some things. But this kind of shows you just simple spending that you can do. I mean, all this is less than $2,000, and we're in front of a lot of people. And this is a reach campaign post I did on Facebook. I spent $1,500 on this campaign over 3 weeks. And reached 512,000 people. Very simple. And they can't get a lot of leads out of it because it's a little bit of a different campaign. It's not a lead campaign, but a reach campaign where you actually get people to see your content and video. And I gained a lot of followers from it. But this just shows you how you spend a little bit of money and you get a lot of people who start to see you and you start blowing up all over social media. I know this is a little bit hard to see, but this is the dashboard I have. So now with Facebook, I have a professional dashboard. They call me like an influencer. So in the last 28 days, about 46 posts just on Facebook. So it's like 2.1 a day, 5.5 thousand people, 14,000 reach. And that's not even doing any kind of ad spend or anything like that. And that's actually low content for me. Normally it's like 70 to 80 pieces of content published. So just by putting minimal post out, this is kind of a bad month for me. And you're kind of getting there too with a lot of the reels and stuff you do, which is good, and people seeing you. Because of being an influencer, I have access to somebody at Facebook now. I blocked out their name, obviously, but at meta.com, it's really important because obviously getting in touch with somebody on social media is hard. I've actually worked directly with Facebook's or Meta's marketing team. I was just on a call talking about Threads, how that works. And one of the things right now about being an influencer on Facebook is a lot of the things that come out, they roll out, I get up front. So with Threads coming out, I think I was like, even though it was kind of high up there, I think I was like 300,000 or 400,000 or something like that person in line for Threads. So I had Threads before it was fully rolled out to a lot of people. So they message me, they send me various tips and tricks, they look at my stuff, and it really helps grow my audience. So why should you really post on social media? It's really, really important, and we're going to give you some content here on this. You can connect directly to your audience, and I know you can speak to that too. You're connecting to a lot of realtors and stuff like that.
Yeah, so when I'm connecting with people, I try to be my authentic self. You just really want to put yourself out there. You don't want to post just one thing. You want to post about, you want to post about your business, but you want to post personal stuff too, kind of mix it up and gain attraction from every different person, all walks of life, because you never know how someone's going to, view you. And as you speak to people and as you put yourself out there and people are watching you talk, they see your personality, they're drawn to you, and then they start following you, and then, it just kind of flows like that.
Yep. 4.95 billion people using social media across the planet. That's a pretty crazy number. I tried to look up specifically our area in Delaware. Couldn't really find any statistics. I'm sure at some point there will be, but there are so many people using it. It's one of the biggest things. I think this is a key point here. Television, radio, and print media control getting to your audience. In the past, what would you do? You'd put an ad somewhere in the paper, in a magazine, television. I still have colleagues actually spending $3,000 or $4,000 on radio, and they're not getting anything. And it's a lot of money, and where I'm on Facebook just posting regularly without spending anything and getting leads consistently. And I have somebody doing television commercials in New Jersey, and they're spending like $10,000 and not really sure what they're getting out of it. And it's not a lot, but basically now they're not in control. You're in control. You have your audience right here on this device, and you can connect to anybody at any time. 3 in the morning if you want to put a post out there. 7 in the morning when you're doing breakfast, you can connect to anybody. Things can go viral. I've had several posts go viral, and I'll show you some examples of how they go viral. It's just me being natural, me being, as Robin talked about, your authentic self. And it's a lot of fun, and you'll see some local realtors actually help me out and have my back when somebody stole my content, which was very flattering, but it was pretty cool. So in the U.S., 301 million users on social media, 331 million people in the U.S. You wonder how that is. There's a lot of young kids that are on YouTube for Kids. Kids get on Instagram. And what started some of my journey about social media was my daughter actually built a fake Facebook profile when she was 12, and we had no idea. And she was trolling us and hiding behind. And you'd think I would know how that happened, but it got me curious how we have so many people. But there are kids nowadays just getting on all kinds of social apps, and it's pretty impressive. And then it's free, right? I mean, I see people spend thousands of dollars in local print magazines, which is all fine and good. There's a lot of people that read them, but for free, I can connect to all my audience. I can actually make some money now on social media and do a lot of cool things with it. And I still believe when you do paid ads and when you do paid campaigns, they're still very, very cheap. And you saw some of those examples. 512,000 people saw my content at least once for $1,500. I'll do that any day of the week. And we do that periodically, which is great. And then again, what I call omnipresence. This is a word I started really thinking about. Omnipresence on social media. So it happened to me on Sunday. I was at my son's basketball game. And a guy comes up to me and says, "Hey, how you doing? I got to get a picture with you." I'm thinking, like, what the hell's going on here? Why is somebody, what's happening? And so it was a realtor. He said, "I love your work. I love your post. Man, I got to tag you. This is awesome. You do great work. I love it." And he's like, "You got Starbucks. I got Dunkin'. We got to do something." So he was all excited and energized, and it was unbelievable. And he put a picture out there, and that blew up. And it was hysterical. I never think that people would recognize me, but I was in Home Depot at Christmas, and a person goes like this and thinking, "Oh, what did I cut a line? What did I do?" And the person's like, "I've seen your funny video somewhere." It's like, "You're that mortgage guy, right?" She's like, "I'm going to refi." Boom, got a refinance out of it. So I'm getting deals from people just seeing me being me and me being silly. And it's pretty impressive for somebody who always sat in the back of the room, was always picked last, and never really was in front of a camera until a couple of years ago. And you're starting to see a lot of that too.
Yeah, I've definitely noticed a lot, like every time I go to a lot of networking events, they call me the networking queen. But some of the realtors that I haven't even met yet or, was never introduced to, they're like, hey, you make them videos with Joe. Like, I love your videos. And like, you just start gaining traction. And the more that you put out there, the more attention you'll get and the more people will start following you and people will start, recognizing you
Right.
when you go to those events and stuff like that.
As much as I hate saying it, like you kind of become a local celebrity in a way. I've been on television. I was on DETV, local TV, talking about my journey experience. They actually reached out to me. They saw some of my content. I was on with Tim Furlong a couple times, a couple years from some of the content. So it's actually blown us up pretty well where we get a lot of organic deals and leads just from our presence out there, which is pretty amazing. And this was the post. This is one of the worst pictures in the world. I can't stand it. I look like shit. But that's Eddie Taylor. So that was the picture at the game that he took, and he posted on social. And there's like over 100 people that liked it. So it's funny how that just happens. And he was coming up to me like, "Hey, how you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you." And I was like, "Wait, what? What's happening here?" It was kind of crazy.
Great.
Yeah, he's awesome. Yeah, he is. And it was just funny. And I'd met him in years, and he wanted to take a picture. I'm like, it's weird to me, but it worked. And he said, I got people texting me like, "Hey, that was fun. You ran into Joe. That's great." So it's interesting.
You didn't use his pickup line on you?
No, he didn't, shockingly.
Oh, his pickup line is, hey, I know you work Facebook firm.
Yeah, he didn't. No, shockingly, I know. I've heard that. So, but he's a good dude. It was a lot of funny. So I want to get into a little bit of the behaviors as to why people don't post on social. And I hear it all the time. I don't have enough time. I don't know what to do. And some of that's true, but a lot of that's BS. And there's a lot of things that I was scared of growing up that I didn't do that I could have done. I think there are some realistic concerns here. There's privacy concerns. I get a lot of trolling and hate messages. I got one the other night like, "Hey, Barney Badass, your content sucks, grow up." And I get that quite a bit. I get people posting. And I always respond to those comments because, one, it boosts up the post no matter what. And I say, "Hey, thanks, have a great day," and that's it. And I walk away. Before I would fight it. Now I just embrace it and I have fun. I love it. I love waking up in the morning. I see messages from people across the continent or wherever, or somebody overseas wanting money or something. It's hysterical, but that's kind of what happens. I do think, a lot of us have a lack of knowledge and a lack of understanding, but hopefully as we go through some of this, we'll have some tips that'll help you gain a better knowledge. And definitely make sure you connect with us too before you leave, to follow us and watch our content, because I learned just from following certain people and doing some things that they did as well too. And that's important. And I think these are things here too that a lot of people, they don't say, but this is what happens. You have a fear of being judged by others. You're like, "Oh my, why are people going to judge me? They're not going to like what I'm doing." And it stops you. And when I started doing video in 2015, I did it for a little bit, and I started saying that same thing. Man, what do people think? I'm nuts. I got a selfie stick. I'm running around. What the heck is this? And I just stopped posting for a little bit. Now I don't stop because everything's just constantly in motion. And I think you had some of those experiences too, what people would say and do.
Yeah, I mean, I think we all, at some point or another, are worried about what someone's going to think, or, you can't be worried about that. Some people probably are a little nervous to put themselves out there. A lot of people don't know if, just do it scared. And as you do it more consistently, it gets easier and easier. So just do it scared. That's what I did.
Yeah, and like for me, for speaking, like I never used to do public speaking. I would always like throw up and be sick, and now I do it all the time. It's nothing to me, and I love it. I love the thrill of it. It's fun. I love helping people, but the more I do it, it just becomes second nature. And I can get on a podcast. In the past, I have to prepare, be sweating. What questions am I asked? Now they just kind of roll off like it's second nature, and it's a fun thing to do. So, but I think this is one thing that people always, they don't say, but fear of believing you're not good enough to post. I hear people say, "Well, I just don't have the time, I don't have this or that," but when it comes down to it, you think you're not good enough. Oh, who's going to like my content? I'm just an average Joe or an average person. I'm just a realtor or just a property manager or, let's say, a painter or something. What are they going to like? You all have something interesting about yourself. You have something unique that people need to see, and just show it out there. I'm proof of it. I mean, I get trolled all the time, and like I said, I absolutely love it and I enjoy it. It's fun. The morning coffee I drink, I just enjoy reading a lot of the crazy comments. And it's fun.
Like when the whole thing blew up when the guy stole your content.
Yeah. Yeah, and you'll see that in a little bit too. It's hysterical. So somebody stole my content and recreated an image just exactly like it. And I had people loving what I said and then absolutely hating and actually messaging me for 2 days straight saying, "You're absolutely freaking out of your mind, dude. What the hell? I love you, but I totally disagree. You're stupid for that." I'm like, wow, it's crazy. But again, that content blew up. It actually went on Fox news station down in North Carolina where the guy was. And I got calls from people down there. Oh, that's really good. I got to get you. So you show up everywhere, and this is what happens as a result of it, and it's a lot. This is important here with social media, and this is one change I think people don't understand about social media. So when social media started out with, MySpace and what's called the Facebook back in 2004, 2005, and you had all those different things, it was based on the social graph. What are your friends doing in college? Like, I want to see what my aunt's doing in California. What's she eating for breakfast? And we loved it. We loved all those pictures. We loved the videos. What's the baby doing? Let's see. This is a great way to connect. But somewhere in about 2016, there was this little app called Musical.ly, which is now TikTok. They started doing short form videos. And what's changed on social media is it went from what is everybody doing to what are your interests now. So, and I'll give you a perfect example. So if you are on Facebook and let's say you go on Google and you do a search for shoes or dresses or whatever, and then all of a sudden your Facebook feed's full of ads of airlines, travel, whatever it is, that's your interest graph. And what you're seeing in the algorithm now in the interest graph is that it's showing you exactly what you're looking for, what you're looking at. So if you look at cat videos, all of a sudden, why am I getting all these crazy cat videos? I did a couple pictures of our cat. I did some Facebook and Instagram reels, and all of a sudden I'm getting cat pictures and videos and stuff. Like, where's this coming from?
Yeah, even if you just Google it, it happens.
Yeah, it happens.
Google something, you'll automatically start getting advertisements for what you're looking at.
And that's because with Google, and Google owns YouTube, they have an AdSense where you actually have something that follows you around. And same thing with Facebook. It's called Meta now, but obviously it's called the Pixel. So you could put it on your website and it actually follows. So if somebody goes to your website, so when you do an ad, you get people to go to your website at the end of the ad when you watch a video, whatever it is, and then behind the scenes it has the cookies that track you, and that's what that does, and that's how that happens. So when we run a lot of ads and videos, when we did a lot of that, that's how people would find other lenders and things like that. They see similar interests like that. But this is one of the most important things because it used to be about, hey, what is everybody doing to now? What's actually going on? I need to find out what's happening, and that's why you're seeing certain things. Here's how to find leads on social media. So this is obviously the Del Ria Facebook page, right? And Facebook groups and pages is a great way. So this little arrow here to this search box, you can type in investors, you can type in property management, and it'll bring up all the posts from the history of the page or from the group. So when I want to go in, if I miss, I do this 2 or 3 times a day because I'm always looking for who's looking for hard money, who's looking for lending on a commercial property. So I'll type that in there, I'll see all the posts that actually come up in there, and that's how I actually look for leads. And I'm in probably 75 different various groups like Middletown, the Hookeson Gossip Girls, have you heard of that group? Pike Creek or whatever. So I go to all the groups and I actually search at least 2 or 3 times a day for mortgages and leads like that. And I find posts, and I reach out to some people and say, hey, saw you had a post last week. Do you need any help with that? And sometimes I get deals out of it. It's a very, very simple way on social media, especially Facebook, how to find a lead. So this little box right here, you just type it, and you can type in mortgages, you can type in property management, you can type in painting, you can type in roofing, and you'll see all the posts that have something about that in there, and it'll organize it for you, and you can go through and see what you missed. And it's a great way to find stuff. And then basically how to also find leads. So this was our office that we just built. This was kind of the Charlotte where we went out when we did a lot of construction, but hashtags. So when I've talked and trained with Facebook or Meta folks, their thing is to always use 3 or 5 hashtags. I see people use 20, 30 hashtags.
More hashtags, more reach.
3 to 5 is basic. So you always want to put a hashtag at the end. It's a hashtag symbol like Delaware, hashtag Delaware real estate, or whatever it is. Use variations. So like instead of real estate, do real estate Delaware. And a lot of times things will actually come up for you that you'll find. Then you can see down here, I did progress, I did like 6. I did demo, new office, Pennsylvania, mortgage, real estate, all in. And you can click on that and you can actually search, and I can find people looking for offices or even real estate type stuff. Simple way to find some leads doing hashtag searches. And it's really cool. So let's talk about the hottest trends for 2024. So what's really going to happen with social media? Because as you saw in that infograph where it was the social graph, where it was always about people's interest, and now it's about what you're specifically interested in, this is really what's going to be happening. I'm already seeing this. I saw this even in 2023. Short form video continues to dominate, has the hottest return on investment because people's attention spans right now are short. very, very short. And that's why TikTok has been extremely successful, 60 seconds or less. That's why reels are out there. I did a reel where I was out in the snow. I took my leaf blower and was blowing around. I got 1,200 views in a matter of 2 hours. People are laughing hysterically. And that's just, again, me being me, putting personal content versus product or business out there. And they get to know me. So I know that guy, he's funny. And you do a lot of that stuff too with the gym and things like that.
Yeah, short videos are definitely
Yeah.
where it's at. You want to keep it under a minute and a half. People's, like he said, attention span is very short. So, just get the information out, 60 seconds. And if you do it for longer than that, you can break up the video and then you have several pieces of content that you can put out. But
Yep.
just never make it more than like a minute or a minute and a half because you're going to start losing interest. People are going to start clicking off of it. So
Yep.
you just want to keep it short and sweet and to the point, and it'll gain a lot of traction.
Yep. And the nice thing is when you become a creator and you have the professional dashboard, you can see these statistics, especially YouTube. You can see statistics in the YouTube studio where it'll see where your drop off is. And I notice when I do a long form video, 30, 40 seconds, people drop off. They lose interest like that. So I keep a lot of the YouTube shorts and even my TikTok stuff like 30 seconds, 45 seconds. And it's extremely hard for me because I like to talk, you know that. And I like to put a lot of content out and I have a lot of good ideas. Like, wait, and I'm like, oh God, I record that again. I went way too long. And
Yep.
that's what happens. But short form video is still going to continue to dominate. Now, I did notice I got a TikTok alert on Sunday where it said, try long form video, try longer videos longer than 60 seconds. I'm like, what are we doing here? So to me, I'm getting creator stuff before a lot of people do. So they're testing out new things. So that's the nice thing about getting good on social media. You get a lot of new things you can try out and break. And they put a survey out there, hey, how do you like creating longer content? I'm like, I don't like it. I like the short form. It's easier. I get a lot more views on it and people turn it off. Live streaming. You're going to see a lot more live streaming. We're actually going to start doing some stuff on Twitch where we're at the office. We have a tax business too. We do stuff like that. But we're going to put up Twitch and actually just broadcast from the office and put it on mute and then come in and talk a little bit. The biggest thing that I've noticed is people love watching live streams. And I've noticed with TikTok right now, especially with YouTube, I see live videos pop up in my feed first. As soon as I turn the phone on, I pull up TikTok. Here's all these live streamers doing whatever this is or whoever's doing what. And Facebook, I see a lot of live stuff that pops up on my phone all the time right away. So this is going to continue to probably grow even more. How it is, I don't know yet. I'm doing some research, but I think if you guys aren't on Twitch yet, Twitch is an app. It's like a gaming app where you can kind of get with gamers and stuff, but you can also do your own broadcasting. So it's almost like your own broadcasting channel, similar to YouTube. So we're going to start that next week, doing a lot of live streaming for a couple hours and see what happens. But again, that's the fun of trying to figure stuff out. And it's a lot of work, I get it. But when you hone your craft and you do this, you get a lot of great perks to it, and you get a lot of leads like you guys have seen. And then text posts. I've noticed a lot of text posts where you see the blue background and somebody puts a text, or there's a background with canaries or birds or
Yep.
cats or whatever it is, and you do some of that too. Where,
I do that.
yeah, and the text posts are starting to blow up again too. So, which is kind of interesting because I really didn't think that would happen, but I'm noticing where you put 2 or 3 sentences in a post, like, hey, I've got a deal, message me. And I've seen it even in the Del Rio Facebook group where somebody puts 2 sentences and that has a lot more engagement than a long drawn out post of all these different things. Contact me here, do all this, do that. Somebody will say, just DM me for this or DM me for that. And there's 20 or 30 likes on it.
Yeah.
So that's pretty impressive
Yeah.
to see that. I wouldn't think that would happen, but, and I've seen some of that on Instagram as well too, where you put some text in the front, in the background, a picture or whatever. So these are 3 things that you're definitely going to continue to see. And again, those things can change. Like I said, TikTok started bringing out some long form video, so we'll see what happens. So let's dive into equipment. I have very, very basic equipment, and one thing I have here is our videographer, Mark, in the back, where when we do stuff, I always bring somebody to get content because this is a great opportunity focused on us. Put a couple bits and pieces of content out there and see what works. See what sticks. Wherever I go, I'm always having my phone, but this is all the equipment I have over here, and probably all this is probably less than $1,000. I see people all the time going out blowing money, $6,000 for all this great studio equipment. Seriously, you don't need that. I started with a selfie stick up until probably 2 years ago, walking around with a stick looking stupid and crazy, and it got me a lot of video. And I had a Bluetooth device where I had a little microphone, but now this is basically these equipment here. So microphone-wise, this is, and we'll send all this stuff to you so you guys have it. So this is a wireless mic. So this is Movo. So you put this on, you hook it on here, and this is the Bluetooth connector. It's my iPhone, it goes right on the iPhone. Record great quality audio. because when you're doing posts and stuff, when you're doing video, you want to have good audio, and it's hard to hear, when you're in the car or something, you stop, you hear all kind of background noise. This eliminates a lot of background noise. You plug it in, you connect it, you pair it, and you're off and running, and the audio is absolutely amazing on it. And it's very easy to do. And I think this was like $139 on Amazon, and it was great. And it works really well. You can drop it. It's solid equipment. When we're shooting video, this is a shotgun mic. And I shoot a lot of my video, probably 80% of it on this device right here. It's so easy to do. I can upload it to the cloud. I can upload it to my editor and do things like that. But I have one of these little devices here I got off of Amazon for $1.85. Plugs right into this, just like that. And then it plugs right into the iPhone, or you can get it into your Droid just like this, put it on a tripod, and again, you're shooting great quality video. And this is $99 at Best Buy. You can't beat that. Just a simple upgrade like that gets a lot of good, better views on your video. You're not hearing background noise. You can hear somebody very, very clear. And especially when you get into post-production or doing editing, you can actually amp up the audio on it too. And you like this device. It always falls over, but it's real simple to put on a tripod. This is one of my handy tripod devices where I put the phone in. My wife found this for me, $19.99 on Amazon. And this thing goes, I think, up to goes pretty high. But you can put your phone like this, shoot like this, or turn it like that, and you're shooting reels just like that. Simple as that. Real easy to do, and you can line it up. You could pull it all the way down here if you're sitting in a chair, whatever it is. Makes life so much easier to have one of these devices. I need a new one because my kids steal it and it's loose, but that's what happens when you have equipment. But again, $19.99 for something like this, to just stick your phone in like this, and it's steady. You're not having to hold it like this. It's choppy. It sits there really nice, and then again, you turn it for real video like that. Simple and easy.
They have something similar like that as well, where it actually has a ring light attached to it.
Yep.
And you'll get the same, and it's great quality because then you have the light and the holder in one. And it creates really good content. That's what I have for myself at home for when I'm creating my own content.
And then lighting, I found barn door lights, studio quality lights, and people in the industry I know, very simple. I want to turn it to you guys, but this is a light that really kind of illuminates really well the subject, because if you're in a dark area or you're in something that's a little bit cloudy, I take this outside, point it on me, it really makes the video pop. And you can kind of turn the hue up and down on it a little bit. Very easy. And I had no experience. I just YouTubed it and watched it. Gives you a little bit of harsh lighting and then some softer lighting, and really kind of illuminates you really well. But two of these, I think, were $149. So it's a no-brainer.
So you're using that outside?
Yep, I can use it outside. So on a cloudy day when I'm shooting kind of some intro and outro videos on a podcast or a video, I actually plug this in, like somewhere in the garage with an extension cord, and then throw this on, especially if it's not sunny out and I need a little bit more lighting, or if I'm shooting later in the day.
Where would you stand, in front of it?
Yeah, you can stand just like this. Keep it about maybe 5-6 feet away, and it really, when you can turn it up and down, it really illuminates really well.
So it's shining right at you.
Right, yeah, it's shining right at you. Yep.
Would the camera be behind that? Or
So usually this is kind of how I do it, like this. So I'll put this just like this and have the light there, and I'll put the phone on like this, have the microphone on, and it's pretty much directly on me, and I'm shooting just like this, and it illuminates me really well. Yeah, really easy to.
Yeah, as an
do.
example, we did 12 Days of Mortgage Christmas. And we did a couple of the recordings at nighttime because we wanted to be outside with all the Christmas lights on. He does this whole big scene at his house of, he's like the Clark Griswold. So we used that light for when we recorded outside when we were making our videos for our 12 Days of Mortgage Christmas.
And it makes you pop because it is dark and people turn videos they can't see, bad quality out. And in post-production, you can do some stuff too. You can play around with it, but it's really nice and handy to have two of these together. I have a ring light as well. I do like the ring light, but this allows you a little bit more flexibility. It's a simple turn of the button like this and turn it up and down, and makes it really easy. It just works really, really well. And that's kind of really all the equipment. And then for editing, when I do reels, I'm usually just editing within the Facebook and Instagram app, and even TikTok. I put the music on, I put the captions and stuff like that. I do probably my reels 80-90% here. I use Adobe Premiere Pro for an editor. It's a little bit more advanced than some of the free ones and stuff, but you can throw in pictures and throw in images and disc up some things on there. And if you guys need any help with that, we could show you how to use that. It's hard to kind of show it up here to throw it in here. There's a lot of boxes and stuff, but once you get used to it, again, I wasn't used to it. I just watched some YouTube videos and learned how to edit within like a month. And my son watched me, and now he's editing videos for his stuff. And I'm like, how'd you learn how to do that? Simply by watching and following me. It's pretty cool. So let's get into some very specific tips for you guys that's going to help you. So image posts. Less is more. Don't clutter a picture, because a lot of times in our industry, one of the things that I see, and I know for regulations in the mortgage industry, you see our flyers, we have 8 million things on there. There's all this stuff. It's all craziness. I don't really post a lot like that. I mean, the flyers I have to, but when I do images, I'll put a funny image of me or do something crazy. I'll put our stuff in the body of the Facebook post, like all the legal description stuff, not there. And we've talked to our state auditors and regulators. We've passed the flying colors. They love how we do it. And it just works easier. So your image post, don't put a lot of word and text in there. Just throw up a picture. You could throw up a caption in there and have some fun with it. But this will actually lead to better engagement on your image posts. Have a plan. What's your strategy? I mean, I always write down every year what I want to do, how I want to grow my social media. Very simple, one-page Word document. How many people I want to connect with, how many speaking engagements I want to get out of it, how many ads I want to do. And again, it might not follow to a T, whatever, but just have some kind of plan. A lot of people just will, oh, I'll post today, I'll post on Saturday. If you're running a business, you definitely want to put a strategy. Like, how do you post? I spend like maybe 30 minutes on Sunday. Okay, what does the week look like? I know I need to shoot a video. Rob and I talked about doing this video. We're going to get together on Tuesday, shoot the video. Real simple, throw it on my calendar. Wednesday, I'm going to edit. Thursday, post it out, and that's simple. And that helps us really get some structure around things. It'll get you motivated to put some content out there. Again, create a schedule and you ideas of content. And I know you have so many ideas running through your head too, which is great. So
yeah, we always brainstorm and we bounce ideas off each other, and we try to, think of new ideas and different content and more ways to really engage with people that will interest people and keep everybody interested in what we're discussing.
Yep. And then again, like we talked about, short form video for Reels, TikTok, and YouTube Shorts. The short form video. So when you're shooting Reels and YouTube Shorts and TikTok, I see a lot of people go like this. I still do this. You're going to see those black sides across, the front or side or whatever. If you've seen some of that, you want to shoot it like this because it's a different image, and this is what those apps require. I can change it in post-production. It's a pain in the ass to throw it into an editor, so I just rather shoot like this and do a reel simple like this, and then that way I can edit it in the phone, and simply within 5 minutes I can have it out with all the captions and everything. So anytime you do the short form video, you want to have your phone like this, not like this. I see a lot of people do it, and I've even played around with it in the last couple months to see. I'll throw a little sticker on top in the black area, I'll put the captions up there. I get like 1,000 less views. I mean, I get 900 views, 1,200 views, 2,000 views if I do it this way versus this way. It's 300, 200. It's a big, big drop off. People just don't like it. And that's what happens. Respond to all comments and like each comment. This is a little, I wouldn't call it a hack, but I always heart every single comment. So I have like 4,999 friends, and over my birthday in August, I think I had 2,000 people wish me a happy birthday. I spent probably 2 or 3 days. I went through every single post, said thank you, and hearted it. And what that does is that actually gets people in front of you again. People you haven't talked to, they start seeing your content again. It's really easy to do. Again, I know it's a pain to do a lot of this, but we're running businesses, and this is a perfect free way to get in front of people if you have a plan and have a strategy. So even the trolling comments, like I talked about to some of you earlier, I mean, I have a lot of people saying, what are you doing? You're stupid, you're crazy. Thanks, have a great day. And that boosts up the post, no matter what you do.
Yeah, and it helps with the algorithms, because if you think every time you respond to someone that's commented, they've engaged on your post, and now you're engaging with them. So you're going to show up in their feed, and you're going to show up in their algorithms, and they're going to still be able to, respond, and it just keeps you in front of them.
Yep.
So it's super important to do that, liking every comment, and that's something that I do. Like for realtors and other people that I know that I'm going to be working with, like I make it a point to go through and make sure I'm liking their content and commenting and engaging with them, because then it puts me in their algorithms as well. So it keeps that flow going with people seeing your content and you're seeing their content,
Yep.
and it just keeps going.
And use Canva. Has anybody heard of Canva before? Can you raise hands? Probably a lot of you. Okay, great, awesome. Canva is a great tool. I was always against it, but Canva is a great way. And I think I spend $12.99, or I don't know if it's $15.99 now, but I can resize my images. So if I take a picture, so every app wants something different. So if I take a picture like this on Facebook, it's 1,230 pixels by 930 or whatever it is. and Instagram wants something smaller. Well, LinkedIn wants something different, Twitter, X, or whatever it is. So I can go into the app and I can magically resize that image by pointing and clicking in 3 seconds. It'll take that image and make it for Twitter. It can make it, because you could post pictures on YouTube now, to make it for YouTube, a thumbnail for your YouTube videos. Really simple to do, and you can add some captions. I put a lot of quotes, like I do funny pictures and I put quotes up. Yeah, you love that stuff. Stupid stuff, but it does work, and it really helps out get the content. A lot of people always say, when should I post? Oh, I should post at 8 o'clock in the morning, people on the way into work, or I should post at noon, I should post 8 o'clock on a Saturday. People say, I've tried everything. I post at 3 o'clock in the morning and I get a ton of views. So post whenever. There's no time hack or algorithm hack that says you got to post at a certain time. That's just been a myth. So if you want to post at 6 o'clock in the morning, post at 6 o'clock in the morning. One thing I will do is I will watch my content, and we have a couple business page, and this is a little secret where I'm posting on my personal profile. What I do is I'll go into my business page, I'll go into the app and go into the business page, I'll like my post on my personal profile from the business page, and that starts to boost the post up a little bit. Little hack that I use that helps us boost the content, because especially if you notice nobody's liking it, I'm like, oh, I go to All Mortgage and All Financial and some of our stuff and like it 2 or 3 times, and all of a sudden people start seeing it and liking it, and it goes up, which is a nice little thing that they haven't caught on to, which helps. And then post at least once a day on each platform. Again, I know it's a lot of work, but again, you're a business, you want to grow your business, you want to do really well. I think right now Facebook says I post 2.1 times a day in the dashboard. I see it, so I feel like I'm doing pretty well. And I used to worry about, what are people going to think? Am I a pain in the ass?
Too much.
Posting too much. I mean, my mom will call me, oh my God, what are you posting that for? What are you posting this for? I didn't like that picture of you. Why'd you post it like that? So what? Who cares? You know, I had fun with it. Like, thanks, Mom, love you. But, you know, at the end of the day, I feel like what I post is pretty good, and I kind of watch the followers and I watch things and see, and so far so good with what we post. We're not overly crazy. I mean, I see people post 10 times a day, and it's pretty annoying when you see somebody trying to sell stuff. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, definitely good to stay consistent. Once you get started, just keep posting every day.
Yep.
And it can be anything. It can be
Yeah.
business related, personal, whatever.
Yep.
Can you schedule your posts? I used to be able to schedule mine. I would schedule for like 2 weeks at a time, and now it doesn't always let me schedule it.
I used to do that, like Hootsuite and some of the apps and stuff, but I just felt like it wasn't me and it wasn't natural. I was like, oh, I'll schedule for this time, and I didn't feel like, and I think what's happening is, like, and you'll see at the end here, like, a lot of the social media platforms want you to be more organic. They don't want you to hook in stuff to post at different times and things like that. They just want you to post when you post. So I've noticed that one of my friends still uses like Hootsuite, and I don't see a lot of engagement because he does some scheduling, and he's even said it's not working. So
Yeah, and there's actually one of our wholesale lenders actually offers that. You can actually set it up for it to post for you, and I got nothing. Like, I did it for months.
From Facebook,
yeah.
you could schedule it within Facebook. Instagram, I mean, you can do it.
Yeah, I've done that too, and it seems like it does work a little bit, but then it seems like it's always delayed for me. Like, I used to do it. I just do it now whenever I do it. Yeah.
I've never scheduled any of my posts,
Yeah.
so I wouldn't
It
even.
just made my life so much easier.
I mean, it does. But I mean, this is a lot of work. I mean, it is kind of like almost like a full-time job doing this stuff, but you could see what we're doing is we're building a business, and we're now getting a lot of traction, getting a lot of organic leads from doing this, and it's all for free. And I just built it into the business. Because, I mean,
I was busy last week and I forgot to post that Blondie's was the national thing.
Yeah.
Everybody loves my national nickname.
Yep.
yeah, and we do a lot of that stuff too, like with holidays and stuff, and you'll see a couple of the samples we have here. But there's days I'm like, oh my God, why do I want to freaking post again? Seriously. But I do it, and I just keep getting myself into it because it's okay, I'm going to get more leads out of it and more business. Appear on podcasts. Bob and I were on this Not a Genius podcast, in 2022. Got a lot of views, a lot of people connected with us. I try to at least get on one podcast. Like I said, it was on DETV back in the fall. And now they reached like 500,000 people, and they love my content. And now we're in talks and they've actually agreed to it, where I'm going to do like a weekly mortgage tip minute or something like that. Robin's going to be involved in it. I'm going to do a mindset tip and stuff like that, a minute, and to get on in front of so many people. And all because of just appearing on podcasts and showing up in places. And it's a lot to put yourself out there, but this is now what's been happening with us is we're basically showing up everywhere. Use real life events like Groundhog Day. I always do a Groundhog Day post. There's some apps where you can re-image your face on things. Super Bowl, I post pictures of my nachos and my wings, and people eat it up, and it's crazy. Like, oh, and I have people say, what kind of beer are you drinking with that nacho? What kind of sauce do you have? And I'm laughing like, wow, this is crazy. But they love to see what you're doing, and they want to know, and they want to get to know you a little bit when you get personal. Consume content. I always look and see what works and what's not working. Who are the influencers out there? What are they doing differently? Like, I always watch Bob's stuff. I'm like, I want to know what Bob's doing, because I love Bob's content out there. Bob is really great. He's funny. He's got a lot of good things out there, how he does it, and he's so consistent with it every day. There's TikTok. I open up. There's Bob. And I'm always like, okay, what's he doing differently that I'm not doing? What's working? Would that work for me? So definitely try to consume some content.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, and many different, there's different social media I've learned is used for different reaches. So, TikTok is a big one now. I see everybody using TikTok. It's great for the millennials. A lot of people just, for some reason, Instagram is huge. So a lot of people use that, and it works really well.
You get about 2 loans a year out of TikTok just by posting mortgage videos and fun things. And people are like, oh yeah, I forgot you do loans. That's great. And it happens.
Yeah, I need to start utilizing TikTok and Instagram a lot more, because those seem to be blowing up a lot more. So that's definitely, something that seems to be working well.
Yep. Don't ever try to be perfect with your content too, because a lot of times I was trying to be so perfect with video back in 2015 and 2016. I stopped posting video for like 3 or 4 months, and I lost a lot of traction. Once you really stop posting, you almost have to start over in a way. There was a time back in, I guess around COVID, I stopped posting for a month. Like, man, everybody's posting stuff. Everybody's home. And I lost a lot of views and a lot of followers and things like that. So I just kind of keep the train rolling right now. But a lot of times I just post what I post out there. We put bloopers out there. Like when we're doing ads, you have to be a little bit on point, but we have funny bloopers and we put that out there. People eat that stuff up. They love how we stumble over our words. Like, oh, I'm just like you. Yeah, I can't get through my words. And they relate to you.
Yeah.
And they continue to connect.
That's the most important. Like when people can relate to you, we all know we're all humans. We're all not, we're all imperfect. So when we make a mistake, it's funny. You can laugh about it. It doesn't all have to be serious all the time and all business all the time. It's okay to have fun and screw up. I mean, it's fine, and everybody else enjoys watching it too, and they get a good laugh out of it.
Yep. And I use ChatGPT now to help write content. I don't let it write it all for me. I still put it in my own words, but I'll ask ChatGPT, hey, write me a Groundhog Day post about this and that, and this is my thing. And it comes out with some stuff, and then I'll still actually tweak it when I put it into the post. But it helps clean things up, helps with my grammar. It posts some emojis in there, which I don't do, and it kind of helps build the post up a little bit. And I'll show you an example of that in a second, but it's pretty cool. Again, consistency. Don't stop posting. If you don't feel like it, just put something out there. Put a quote up or whatever it is. Keep the flow going, because once you stop for a week or two and then you just don't do it, and then you're like, oh, I got to start posting again. I see a lot of people do this, and you're going to lose a lot of business. And it's free to do all this. It's free, and as we said, you get a lot of business out of it.
Yeah, and the more you post, you'll find that it gets easier and easier over time. You're not as nervous. You're not worried. It just everything starts flowing once you stay consistent, because you're just used to posting. Especially when you make a plan, it's just staying consistent. It just makes things easier, because it just starts that whole flow of, staying, in front of everybody on social media.
Yep. Big thing I see people do, they outsource their content. Now you can outsource things for like video editing and music and stuff. And like Bob and I do some of that, where I ask people to help me with something or do something, but my content is original. I have a friend who's in the mortgage business, spent $40,000 for the year to have them come in, film content, and they started complaining right away. That's not us, that's not how we are, and they chopped it up and did all this crazy stuff with it, and they just wasted $40,000 for nothing, and their content's getting maybe 3 or 4 likes, and they're like, well, how are you getting 100 and 150 and 60 some comments, and we're not getting any comments? I'm like, it's not authentic. You can outsource certain pieces to help film the video, but it's got to be you. You got to be you out there, and you got to shoot it the way you need to, whether it's messy or you're shaking with your phone like this. Who cares? Just do it. And be you, and try not to outsource, because I see people outsourcing posts and it just doesn't get any kind of reach. It's not fun. And then let's see. So here's some types of content we want to go over with you guys. These are things you can do. So educational, we do put out some educational things, new loan programs and things like that. I rarely put out any product, because seriously, who wants to learn about DSHA? Everybody's got the same DSHA grant programs out there. People don't want DSHA. They want a house. They want to know how to buy a house. They want to know about painting. How do you paint well? How do you do roofing? How do you do real estate, property management? They want to know about you, so they want to be educated by you. They want you to be fun, And you can put news and trending updates. I mean, sure, we'll put stuff out there like, hey, DSHA's, replenished the grants. That's big news. But I rarely, you probably post, once a week about some products and things. I do too, maybe once a month now. But a lot of my stuff is just fun, and people see it, and, we educate them on things. And then the last thing here, which is really important, is personal. I guess it was right before COVID, I kind of had my Howard Stern moment where I was talking to my wife and I said, I just got to get more personal with people. I got to put it out there because I feel like I'm holding back. I'm not fully authentic. And I said, I'm going to put pictures out there of the kids at the basketball games, maybe us at a restaurant for fun, and people are going to see it and just be okay with it. And that's what's helped, because people want to know what I'm doing. They want to relate to you. And you saw Eddie Taylor at the basketball game. What kind of coffee are you drinking? And you've seen that happen too when you posted pictures of the gym and you're working out and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's been my new thing. I'm focusing on my health right now, so I've been posting and keeping up with that.
Yep. And you're meeting with some realtors on it, which is they want to know, and now you're building relationships and building a business with people with that.
Yep.
So here's the Chat GPT example. So I said, Chat GPT, write me a few cute sentences that it's Groundhog Day, and we at All in the Mortgage do not expect a repeat of 6 more weeks of higher rates. A little fun. And it came out and said, on this Groundhog Day at All in Mortgage, George and Joe, the dynamic duo prognosticators, emerged from their cozy burrow with good news. And it goes on. And I tweaked it a little bit, but it came up with all these emojis, came up with some hashtags, all in about 3 seconds. And that saved me so much time. And sometimes with my grammar, I'm not that great with things. And I say, hey, can you clean this up a little bit? Make this post short, because I can get very wordy. And I put 3 or 4 paragraphs. I'm like, no, that's too much. I'm like, Chat GPT, help me out a little bit here. So I use the tool to my advantage. I don't use it to write every single thing. It's still our content, but it helps tweak it and helps make it better.
Yes, and also it saves you so much time. So instead of you thinking about you're sitting there thinking about all these things that you can say and do, just ask Chat GPT. It'll spell it all out for you.
Yeah.
And then if you don't like it, you can even respond again and say, hey, I don't like this, or, can you do this a little differently? And it'll change it again and make it more personable, like it's coming from you. So it'll actually listen and learn from you. And it's such an important tool. So if you're really going to be getting into the social media, Chat GPT has to be, you definitely have to use that. It's such a big help.
Yeah.
And time saver.
There's going to be a lot more videos coming up with AI and stuff like that. There's going to be some crazy things that I'm starting to see that are going to be.
It's being implemented in people's businesses and as well.
So this is part of the Groundhog Day post. So I superimposed our images on Bill Murray. That's me. That's my business partner, George. People ate this up and laughed hysterically. Again, not about product. This is about us. Hey, we're posting about rates. We're the prognosticator. We think rates are going to come down in 6 weeks. And just something about a personal event or just a event that's out there, like the Super Bowl, Groundhog Day. We got some fun videos with Valentine's Day that we're going to do, which you'll.
And we had a great time with our Christmas videos. It was. I had a great time making.
Put hats on. I put a red suit on, and I look stupid, but people loved it. They're like, "Oh my God, you're funny. That's great. I got a great tip out of that." And that's what you do. And then this is one of Robin's posts here, where she does her weekly mortgage reminder, a little bit more product, talking about herself, getting personal, and people love this.
Yeah, I post it every week because I want to make sure people remember every Monday that. I'm here for them. I'm here to work for them. I'm a broker. I have a lot of things that I can offer. So I think it's important to let everybody know weekly everything that I can offer.
Yeah. So I did this post when we had snow. I put a towel out. Yes, that's me. My sandals, my beach equipment. I got beach toys. I got the boogie board. I got the beach umbrella. I got the cooler out there.
Igloo.
Yeah, igloo. Everybody loved this. And this is me just, again, being me and being silly. And I said, hey, it's great out there. I'm loving the beach. Oh, I mean, the sand, the snow. And people loved it. It got shared around, and people were like, hey, I want to meet with you. I got to talk to you. And I got a couple that said, I totally forgot. Yeah, you did our loan 3 years ago. You do mortgages. I totally forgot. We're hooking up with our daughter. And I just talked to her the other day. All because of that simple thing. And this took me maybe a couple minutes to create. A little bit harder to kind of get everything done, but I was pretty cold after that. And this is kind of the Christmas thing we did. These are the hats. This is where our blooper reel. We posted, used Canva with this stuff here, put the blooper reel, and we had, I think, 1,000 views of just simple bloopers where we were stumbling over our words when we were giving out tips, and people just ate it up and loved it. And you could see that's the picture quality with the light over there that kind of gave us some good views. And then this is kind of the product stuff I'll do. So this is us, section A of the closing disclosure. Hey, look at that. We only have an underwriting fee. Look at what they're charging here. And I had so many comments on this thing. How do you do that? What's happening? Who is that over there? I want to know who specifically charges all that. And I think I had 150 comments, and this thing blew up last year because this is exactly the same post I did, and I showed them, this is us, this is them. And people loved it. And again, it's a little bit about product, but it's a little subtle jab at our competition. Simple posts like this versus just saying, well, we have great rates and we have great service and we do this. That's boring. This is more fun and it's exciting when people kind of do stuff like that. And then the Stanley Cups. I put this out there within, 3 hours, 63 likes, 47 comments, and everybody's like, I want one of those all mortgage things. They're great, they're awesome. So I took a real life event where I saw people were posting how many Stanley
Going
Cups.
crazy
Yeah.
over the Stanley Cups.
Yeah, and I'm like, Stanley Cups? I'm like, oh, and I just looked at my desk and said, I got a Stanley Cup right here. I'm like, George, give me 2 more of these cups. Boom, we just put it out there like that. And now we got orders for cups. So, and again, it's a way to kind of relate to people and poke fun at some things, and people love just the fun and who we are. So this is the post that went viral. This is me in the snow, and yes, that's a grill, that's a Keurig. I was stirring something up, that's a lamp, I put a vacuum. I do crazy stuff. That's business cards, candy dish, speaker, a plant. And this went on NBC 10. Dawn Timoney picked it up on Fox 29. And this is probably me 5 minutes. I got our sign in there. People loved it and ate it up. I said, hey, I'm working. Got my sandal shorts, and that's an old laptop, so it's not this laptop. So I have a laptop just for this fun stuff. So it doesn't get wet. But I had everything out there. And again, all in 5 minutes of creating something. And then this is the guy that stole my content. So I said, wait, he copied my stuff. I created a post out of it. And this is him. So he put his, whatever mortgage company, put his thing there, took the vacuum cleaner away, put his logo there, that's his face. Everybody was like, wait, that's you. He just put his stuff on there. I'm like, no, I don't have a beard. And he put his face on there, like, oh my gosh. I think about, 50 realtors we haven't even done business with, trolled this guy for almost a week. And this guy kept calling me, can you call the wolves off? This is crazy, this is insane. And these people had our back. People we hadn't done business with. Like Jeff Kravalik and I don't know who else, Minaj, they were all just commenting like, hey, why did you borrow this guy's stuff? And I simply said, hey, I know so many of you get mad when people copy your stuff, but understand when you put original content out there, it happens, enjoy it. This means your content's working. I loved it, I was flattered. I'm like, who the hell is gonna copy my stuff? And this guy's in North Carolina and went on Fox station down there, and then some of the stuff back and forth went down there as well too, about our little tryst. And I think he had people messaging him, like I said, for almost a week. But I mean, they were trolling the hell out of this guy, all because of just something we did. Yeah, giving him a hard time, trying to poke fun. But some of it, I was like, guys, you can't call this guy an a-hole and do this and do that. Like he did something, whatever you disagree or agree with. But I had people saying, I disagree with you. You should have gone after him. You should have sued him. I'm like, I'm flattered. This is cool. Borrow my content. It's not copyrighted. It's not a book. It's not a program. Have fun with it, and enjoy it. And this is kind of the fun that we do. So becoming an influencer, making money. So right now I make about $50 a month on Facebook. It started out about 6 months ago where it was $1, and you can make up to I think their limit is 30,000. And being an influencer, I talk with Facebook at least once a week where they've helped me with content, helped me figure out certain things to build my business and brand. And you're starting to do some of that too, where I think I'm up to 50, and I think I'll be trending up to closer to 100. So I want to, have passive income. So I think it's a great way just by doing your free content and making money. Again, it opens up the door to make money from your posts. TikTok is now allowing me to do that. I'm very close on YouTube to start earning money, putting ads in there. Turn on professional mode on Meta and Facebook. So when you go under your profile, if you haven't done that, if you want to, you can turn on professional mode. It'll show you a lot of insights. And it's hard to show it up here on this thing, but let us know. We can help you out with it and show you how to do all that. And it'll really help get you insights, what's working and what's not working. And this will lead to a lot of cool things with Facebook. If you can get the blue check mark, the blue check mark does help me out quite a bit. I think it's $14, $15 a month. I know you're working on that soon too. I have it on Instagram, I have it on YouTube, I think Twitter, X or whatever. But the nice thing is like, when you start influencing and you start getting out there, people are going to create fake profiles. You see it all the time, and I'm verified, so that means I have access to certain things, programs that they have, and people don't usually copy my profile. They'll just copy posts like that. But I think it's worth getting the blue check mark because it does help you build up more influence, and they usually show your posts to potential people who follow you. And usually every week I get about 3 or 4 new followers who aren't friends that follow me on my personal profile and then our pages as well.
I'm starting to get more people that I'm getting just followers. I'm not getting people adding me as followers.
People have no idea, like people from California, people from Canada. I got a call from somebody in the Philippines saying, hey, do you do mortgages in the Philippines? They messaged me, they started following me. I'm like, the Philippines? Like, wow, that's kind of cool. But people are starting to see our stuff globally now in a way, which is kind of cool. And when you have the professional dashboard, you'll be able to look into monetization. At some point, Facebook will say, hey, now that you've been an influencer and you have professional mode, why don't you earn money? And it takes a little while to get that set up. It took me about 3 or 4 months where you have a certain number of views and things. Yes?
For Facebook, are you, is this your personal profile or a business page?
Yeah, personal profile. So that's a great point. So I do pretty much, I'd say 90% of my stuff for my personal profile now. I just went all in and said, you know what? This is the way I see the trend going. You're building brand, you're becoming an influencer, and they want to see you versus the company. We do have business pages, so when I post the content now, I could take my content on my personal page, and there's little boxes where I could put it to our business pages as well. Or sometimes I'll share it. But when I do
So
it, yeah.
monetize your personal
Yep.
page.
Exactly, and build a following and things like that, because that's where the trend's going, is influencer stuff where you're going to be seen more than your brand over time. And I'm noticing that where I think I've got like 400 or some followers in the last couple months. I get friend requests all the time. I get access, like I said, to everything, but it's all done from my personal page, and I can share it to the to all the different pages. And it, I can share reels to multiple pages, and that's what gets a lot of views.
Do you think that because it was a trend where people were getting, they were keeping a personal page on Facebook for friends and family?
Yeah.
But then they would have, a business. It's not for the company. It's for their own person, so they can get beyond 5,000 people, and they would say, like float or something.
Yeah,
like that.
yeah, I see a couple people do it, like Joe the mortgage guy or something, or Joe something the mortgage guy.
It seems like those posts never get interaction, so you think it's better to stay.
Yeah, it's better to stay with the personal, because what happens is Facebook does have the AI that actually sees trends and profiles that are similar, and they start seeing a similar thing, they will actually send you a violation. And I know a guy in Boston who did that with a page for insurance. He kind of did the same thing and got beyond it, and like, hey, this is a duplicate profile. I'm like, no, we're taking this down, and he had to fight it. And then they started hitting his personal profile, like, is this real? And they wanted him to send his driver's license. It was crazy. And I just said, just avoid it. Just do it from your personal, and then you could share to your business. And I know it's a lot to share from your personal, but if we're entrepreneurs, you got to do it.
Right, I think a lot of people
Yeah.
are getting away from the business pages. They don't get as much traction as your personal page, because people, like, you're putting more of your personal stuff on your personal page anyway, and that's what people are relating to.
Yep.
So I've heard it from other people who I've gone to other social media events, and it just seems like the business pages are going to be a thing of the past. They just don't get as
Yeah.
much views.
We don't see a lot of
or
traction, even when we
traction.
share, and even when I post directly from there, I might see 30, 40, views on a reel versus 1,200 on my personal. So I just share it to there, and sometimes you pick up followers and things like that.
Yep.
But also too, again, use live streaming. I do TikTok lives, do Facebook lives. If we're at an open house or a grand opening, I live stream for like 2 hours, and people are like, oh my gosh, this is great, and it was shared, and I think we had like 5,000 views on it in a couple hours, and it was great. And real quick, just the future of what's going to happen. AI continues to grow. You're going to see a lot of ability to use AI apps that'll help you create content, edit stuff all together in a matter of minutes. With ChatGPT, that's all the tech stuff, but I think all the video stuff is starting to happen now. I'm seeing it, and I think we'll start to see more of where you'll do more videos, do all kinds of crazy stuff with celebrities and videos, and you're not going to know what the heck's going on. Like, is that real or not? And we're starting to see some of that. Authenticity is going to be more important than ever, and that's what we just talked about with your personal brand, because this is what social media wants. They want you to be authentic. They want you to be the real you, not hide behind things. They want to see you for who you are, and that's how, with the personal brands, things are starting to really, really grow. Customer service will grow out of this too. Like I said, when you respond to comments, especially on your personal profile, when you get a lot of comments, people are going to get to know you and say, wow, he responds really fast. And one of the fun things that is happening to you as well is when we respond to a comment, like, man, these guys are fast. They even pick up the phone in a half ring, and they respond to a comment in a minute. And sometimes we don't do that a lot, but most of the time we do. And they're like, these guys are really fast, and it builds up the perception that we're really fast and we're good with our service.
Yeah, and we are.
Great access to data. Like I said, you're going to start to see more data and more trends, because that's what social is going to do. YouTube, I see a lot of graphs and charts, how many followers I have, how many people didn't like the video or passed through it in 3 seconds, 2 seconds, or whatever it is. There's going to be a lot of new data that you're going to be able to use and say, okay, is my video working, or where did it drop off in 10 seconds? They didn't like that point, so I got to rethink the video. Increasing connections to brands and influencers. So this is the crazy thing. Social media has become less social. You're starting to see it with a lot of celebrities. You see Taylor Swift, it's all Taylor Swift, it's all this. It's, it's not Josh Altman at Douglas Elliman, it's Josh Altman, the realtor out in LA on $1 Million Listing. So you don't really know what company they work for. People just see, oh, Joe, he's at Mortgage Guy. He's not from All In Mortgage. That's what's going to start to happen. So you're going to start to see a lot less social and influencers like people like us and some of you guys in here, like even Bob, that are going to keep popping up more and more and become like a local celebrity and get a lot of business out of it. And again, personal brand's always going to win out no matter what at this point, like Robbie said, and we've seen business pages are really not there. The groups, that's authenticity, that's intimacy, that's personal, where you're talking to people, especially in the Del Rio group. There's a lot of good conversations. I think I'm in 70 groups, and I see a lot more group posts that come up versus business pages, and that's what's going to happen. So, quick gift to you guys. Again, all free. It's one away, but if you guys need any kind of help with social media, reach out to us. We'll help you out. We'll work over some stuff for you. We'll put a strategy together, goals. We'll share our stuff with you and get you guys going. And that's it.
Awesome.
Appreciate it.
Really appreciate it.
Yeah.